Welcome back, Shalligators, and welcome, Swifties, if you found your way here, because there's some news from your girl. Looks like this relationship with Travis Kelce is more than just rumor and myth and wishful thinking, right? They are seemingly like together, or like, you know, celebrity together. They've been seen together. She was at his Kansas City Chiefs game, and then they went out to a restaurant. She paid to clear the whole restaurant out. This seems to be like actually kind of happening. So I'm going to read some of your suggestions about what we can learn from this situation. The last time we talked about Taylor, we talked about how to date your opposite and how to find compatibility when it seems like you guys are completely different or you're on different pages. So in this one, we're going to break down some things like, you know what? I don't even know yet. I haven't read your suggestions. Let's just get into it and go for it. All right, but before we get started, just want to remind you guys to please donate if you are able to the charity that is near and dear to my heart, Whispering Willows Senior Dog Sanctuary. They take in abandoned senior dogs where maybe the owners are elderly and can't care for them, or they had to give them up for one reason, or maybe the owners are just pieces of shit who don't feel like taking care of a dog when it gets to be too much work. If you would like to send me some addresses and phone numbers of those people, I'm happy to take care of that on my end. Anyway, on their end, they take care of the little pups, and it's really just out of the goodness of their heart. You can sponsor a specific dog. You can do a monthly repeating donation. You can donate $5 and skip the latte today. And like I say, I offer this content for free. And if it's changed your life, please help change the life of another little pup. Pay it forward. It really means a lot to me. It really, really, really does. You know, we got to use this platform for some good and not evil. Even though Evil Week is coming. You guys, I'm really excited for this year's Evil Week. We're going to do something different. We're going to do it a little different. It's not, I don't want to give away too much, but I'm going to go film it this week. I'm really excited. So get all evilly and psyched. Let's talk about Taylor. So yeah, she turned up at his game and was like geeking out in a box, like a special, upper level box. And his mom was in the box. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. It's the only dainty thing I do. Don't be so impressed. And so a lot of you guys were like, wait a minute, she's already meeting the parents? Like, yes, in these situations, I can see how she'd be thrown in the box. It's like, this probably isn't when he would typically introduce a girl to his parents, but maybe it is. And this happened with Matty Healy, hanging out with Taylor Swift's dad at her tour. He was up in a box with Taylor's dad, and we were like, holy shit, is this too soon to meet the parents? Just to recap that a little bit, because we did a whole video about it, it depends on who the parent is, and it depends on the dynamic that person has with their parent. For some people, it's like a huge deal to meet someone's family. Like, you only meet them if this is the chick you're going to marry. For some people, it's like, it's almost an extension of friends. That's how I'm with my mom. Like, if it just makes logistical sense for my boyfriend to meet my mom, then he's going to meet my mom. It's not like, oh, this is the one, I'm holding him up like Simba. Not necessarily. I mean, I'm saying what I'm saying to my mom behind the scenes, but her meeting him doesn't necessarily have a huge bearing on, it's not a great barometer of how serious I am. It's more a barometer of logistics, especially when you're grown up. And sometimes people are just in the same place at the same time, and it just makes sense. But the pair were also seen leaving his game together, and he was dressed like Roller from Claws. Did you guys ever watch that show? Roller? Yeah. The classic white guy who's acting like he's black. There's a very bad word for that. Starts with a W. I'm not going to say it because I feel like I'm not allowed to say it, right? Yeah. But is there a more politically correct thing to call dudes like this? What can we call them? Besides embarrassing. I don't think he is like that. Roller is. I'm saying Roller from Claws is like this. Travis Kelce, probably not. I think he just picked a hell of a bullshit outfit to get caught by the paparazzi. He had to know that people are going to be photographing him, and this is what he went with. We need to talk about some celebrity teeth real quick. Taylor has these veneers, and they are just too big for her mouth. And has anyone seen Miley Cyrus lately? She has a new set of veneers. Are these things 3D printed? Do they snap in? What are these? They're like down to here. She's like a great white. What am I looking at? She can't even close her mouth. She looks like she's trying really hard to keep her lips together. Those are bad veneers. Are they going to the same dentist? I'm a big teeth person. I'm very teeth focused. I can't go out with a guy if he has bad teeth. Some other things you guys had to say. Why is everyone called Travis? I had this same thought. Why is everyone named Travis? And last time I checked, no one's from Texas. Travis is a very Texas name to me. I love this. In the same vein of teeth. Can she stand up straight? I feel like she is always slouching. She needs to roll her shoulders back. She is always slouching. This is what tall girls do. They slouch because they became tall really early and they feel self-conscious about it. Do you know how lucky you are to be tall? Do you know how lucky you are? I am the shortest of my friends, and I am constantly like reaching like a little baby bird to like be as tall as everyone. And I look at my tall friends, I'm like, God, you look like a model. You literally look like a model. If you're tall, ride that till the wheels fall off. Because let me tell you something, that hunching thing, first of all, I'm going to be so blunt right now. You look poor. Rich people don't slouch. Sorry. When I see Taylor like that, I'm like, oh, low class beta female. Like if I didn't know who she was, I saw her, I'd be like, ugh. I'd be like, oh, yeah. Oh, girl, yeah. You're just hoping some man will marry you and pay off your DUI debts, right? I don't get a sense of regalness, elegance, command, poise, power, nothing. When I see someone slouching, I'm like, fuck. And truly, bad posture is the number one most unattractive thing a girl can do. I see girls out at the bars and I'm like, girl, I can see how much time you put into your hair and your makeup. Your outfit is trash, but I know you put a lot of thought and time into it. And you blew it all by like, by turtling around. And there's a reason guys are looking at me and not you, because I know how to stand up straight. So you want my little trick to stand up straight? Okay, this is what you do. When you're standing there with your arms at your side, your thumbs should be pointed forward. All right, if your thumbs are touching your thighs, let me stand up and do it. If your thumbs are touching your thighs, this isn't really working. See, they should be forward. If they're like this, if they're brushing your thighs, your shoulders are hunched. When you roll back, your shoulders are hunched, your hands are down. When you roll back, your thumbs automatically point forward. That's how you know you're standing up straight. And this needs to be a constant check, and enlist your friends. Be like, I need someone on posture patrol tonight. Hannah, it's going to be you. And if you see me hunching, just like poke me in the back. Boop. I own a room and I command attention chiefly because of my posture. And my mom has even said that to me. She's like, I swear to God, your posture is why you have a hard time dating in Montana. You literally look regal. You look better than these people. And just the way you sit, they can tell you're well educated. They can tell you're high earning. They can tell you're an alpha female, and it's scary. Good. Then those aren't my people. Thank you. Oh, pigeons, got it. Eagles don't slouch. Pigeons peck on the ground. Eagles don't do that shit. They look up and they look out. Okay? So if you want to do one thing to look more attractive today, you don't need to lose weight. It'd be great if you had 2 eyebrows. I'm just not going to lie to you about that. You need 2 eyebrows. Roll your shoulders back. It's free. It feels good, right? Get a foam roller, foam roll all the time to like get your back used to like sticking out like that. You're going to command a room. And I know Taylor is powerful, but if you didn't know her and you just saw it, it's like, she just looks subservient. Not cute. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with the teeth. I'm done with the teeth talk. So then apparently Taylor took him to a restaurant, or him and the team went to a restaurant. She paid everybody to leave. Her people called in and were like, hey, we're going to pay for everyone's meal, but they need to get the fuck out right now. Taylor is, if nothing, she is petty. She is so petty. Candace Owens recently talked about Taylor on her podcast. And I don't agree with everything Candace Owens says, but her and I are in lockstep about our opinion of Taylor. Well, Candace goes pretty hard against Taylor. But Candace even said what I have said for years, which is Taylor is frozen at the age she found fame. Fame is a type of trauma, and trauma freezes you where it happens, right? My father died when I was 22. I am perpetually 22. And one of you guys famously said, you kind of won the trauma lottery because 22 is a great age. I'm like, I know. This is why I date like college seniors. I am one inside. I'm a clown. But Taylor, how old was she? 15, 16. And you see that in her actions. Look at the Sophie Turner, Joe Jonas thing. Why the fuck is Taylor getting involved in that? Why is she getting involved in that? Taylor, you are almost 34 years old. You are almost 34 years old. Stay away from your exes and their wives. There's kids involved. You know what Taylor also did that Candace pointed out that I didn't even realize? She had all of her famous friends, her squad, unfollow Joe Alwyn all in the same day so that it would like make the news so people would notice. Girl, you're in your 30s. Why do you need to do that? Why do you need to do that? If the only reason I would be like, I'm going to stick it to my ex is if he cheated on me. And you know what? My ex did cheat on me. And I refer to it like tangentially. I don't make these diss tracks about him. I refer to it if we're talking about it and it's coming up and it's relevant to the story and imparting advice. But I'm not like subtweeting about him and getting the world to turn against him. I don't care that much. Of course, it broke my heart. But like, that's the only thing that I could think like justifies that pettiness. And if that's the case, girl, just come right out with it. Be like, Joe Alwyn cheated on me. He stuck his dick in every like Welsh cocktail waitress he could find. Just say it. Just say it. If you want to do it, do it. If you're going to shoot, shoot to kill. That's my philosophy. Don't pussyfoot around, especially when you're the most famous woman in the world. Why? And so that tells me, because she hasn't come out and said that or released some crazy breakup vengeance song that's clearly about Joe, it tells me that he probably didn't do anything. And maybe this is just a relationship that ran its course for normal reasons. They broke up, c'est la vie. So then why the pettiness? Why the need to do that? Because she's immature. Because she's 16. And that's exactly what I would do when I was 16. If someone gave me an ouchie, a cold prickly, I couldn't let it the fuck go, even if it was just a cold prickly through the normal course of relationships. And it kind of, you know, I love Taylor. And all this to say, I do love Taylor. I respect her so much as an artist and a businesswoman. But as like a mature person, nah, I wouldn't say that that's her hallmark. We know this. We know this. And it's just a little confusing. Why would Travis Kelce date her? Why would anyone? And I hesitate saying that because I love a strong woman. I love a successful woman. I even kind of love a petty woman. But at some point, when she has as much power and money and fame and control as she does, you gotta let some things go, girl. And this is the thing with Taylor. It kind of seems like she doesn't let anything go. And again, on one hand, I like that we have an exemplar of revenge and ruthlessness, aside from me. I do like that. But it takes this icky turn at a point where you do have to pick your battles. And I just wonder, why is she picking the ones that she is? Like Joe Alwyn. If he did something so bad that she's got to make it like a news story that her friends unfollow him, and like, what? Okay, then just come out with it and be like, that's why I picked this battle. Listen to how he treated me. I don't know. I digress. We're off topic. Julian, who looks kind of hot, said, I still feel like she's gay. Hashtag Gaylor. This is what I love. This is the topic. Suddenly she's into football. How to preserve your own identity when you date someone new. A lot of you guys said this. Personally, I like to date people who are into different things because I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to like broaden my horizons. Tell me things I don't know. Be curious about something I've never even thought about. Take me down some weird rabbit hole about blockchain or elk hunting or lacrosse or whatever. I'm not saying I'm going to go down that rabbit hole with you and be like, oh yes, I love lacrosse players who have blockchain. Do you have it? Or do you ride the blockchain? Are you on, am I blockchaining right now when I do this? Am I blockchaining? Is that part of the blockchain? And then they go hunt elk. I'm not saying that. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing. And I think we are worried about that as women because we see girls who do go all or nothing. They're in a relationship and they are doing 100% what their boyfriend wants to do. 100%. And if they're not in a relationship, they're like a sim, just waiting. Just waiting to be like dispatched into their next universe, right? And we look at women like that and women like us are like, ugh. And it's scary. And it scares us off dating guys who are maybe a little bit different than us, who have different interests. And so we tend to either just be like, I will never be like that. I don't even want to get in this arena. I'm just going to stick to me. I'm going to be super rigid. And if I meet somebody who is into different things, I'll be like, nope, won't work. not going to work. You're not going to turn me into you. Not every guy wants to, you know? Honestly, a lot of guys do, though. A lot of guys. I've said this, and I'm going to keep on saying it. Living in Montana, guys want a girl with their precise same hobbies. You know the type of girl I was just telling you about who like is suddenly morphed into her boyfriend? That's one of my good friends. That's one of my really good friends right now. She is every weekend, they're camping, they're fishing, they're hiking, they're hunting. When are they doing all the things she wants to do? Oh, they don't. They don't do those things. And you know what? As I say this, I can't even think of what those things would be. I don't know what they are because their entire hobby set is his hobbies to the point where I don't even think she has any anymore. Or if she did, I don't know what they were. No idea. I'm like, do you guys ever like go see plays or like go to the ballet or go to like a pottery studio and paint a fucking mug or whatever? Like go to an Oktoberfest. She's like, no, he didn't really like to do that. Like, okay, that's not what I asked. Like, do you like to do that? Do you like to do that? Could he not pull up for you and paint a fucking mug like once a quarter? I don't know. You guys go to a bar. Do you do anything outside of what he likes to do? And the answer is no. No, we don't. And yeah, this is cringe and terrible. And a lot of you guys on here on my Instagram were like, how do you avoid just like, bleh, like falling into a guy's identity? Well, I do think I'm qualified to speak on this because like I said, I like dating people who are a little different than me. But listen, we've talked before. We talk a lot about the 5 pillars of compatibility. You ready to say them with me? Sexual compatibility. We know that. Shared goals and values, right? You have a religiosity that's the same, political beliefs. This is very, very important. You have similar goals for the future. You both want kids. You both want to live by the beach, whatever. You communicate in ways that are compatible. They don't have to be exactly the same, but they are at least compatible. And the 5th, arguably, in my opinion, one of the biggest ones is recreation. You like to do the same things. What's his ideal Sunday morning? Is it wildly different than yours? That could prove to be a problem. So as I sit here and say, I like to date someone who's going to broaden my horizons, I know 2 things for sure. And this is how I avoid becoming my boyfriends because I have never, ever been that girl. Never. No matter how obsessed I was with someone, no matter how I just wanted to like crawl inside their skin and like live inside them because I love them so much, I have never been like, we do all the same things. Not ever. For 2 reasons, okay? I am a very specific person. The things I like and the things I don't like are pretty well defined. Within reason, okay? Within reason. I will go camping for one night. I'm not going like backcountry camping, like you climb up a mountain and then you find a place to poop in the woods. I'm not doing that, okay? Like I will go in a camper, I will sleep in there, and then I will leave and go back to my home with my 1,000 thread count Egyptian cotton sheets. Thank you. You can stay out in the woods as long as you want. I will overlap, but I will not completely cover, right? Because we want a Venn diagram, right? There's the 2 circles that there's an overlap in the middle, but the majority of those circles don't touch. I think it's bad when it's 100% overlap, and I think it's bad when it's 0% overlap. You have to have some, but not all. And here's how you do that. Again, decide what you like and don't like. And this is tricky business because, again, you don't want to be a rigid person and be like, I hate camping, I'm never going. If you tried it, you might like it going with him. It might be like getting you out of your comfort zone and branching out a little bit. So that's why I'm like, I'll go for one night and I'll go, 40 minutes away. I'm not going to drive 6 hours in the middle of fucking Wyoming. Like, we're not going to do that, okay? This is how I wade into it. And if I really like it, maybe I'll go for 2 nights the next time we go. Okay, but I'm not giving up my whole weekend. And this brings me to my second point. I have a schedule that is very rigid. This seems like a minor thing. And it might even seem like a bad thing. Shallon, you just keep using this word rigid. You're not even rigid. I'm so rigid. Of course I'm rigid. I'm running a very successful business. I have a good body. I have an amazing, beautifully kept home. I have clothes that are color coordinated with hangers that also coordinate, and they are steamed. And do you know what all of that requires? time and discipline and routine. And if I cast aside my devotionals, my systems, my processes, my routines, and just leave all of that up in the air and let a guy decide how I'm spending my time, I am very aware of what I'm giving up. My business will suffer. My clothes will be left on the floor. And I'm probably not going to work out and I'm probably going to gain weight. None of those are acceptable. None of those are acceptable outcomes to me. So yeah, I'm going to be rigid because it's my life. It's my life. And if I don't work on my business and my body and my closet, nobody else is going to. And at the end of the day, my responsibility, my job in this world is to make myself happy. And those things make me happy. Yes, he's going to make me happy and he will be annexed into my life. But those other things are rock solid. Those things are not going anywhere. I will have to find time and places to fit him in. But I don't take something off the board to add in a man. Dating and having a relationship is like anything else. You have to have the time and the bandwidth to do it, right? And if you're like, well, being with this guy means like I just can't have Sunday dinner with my family, then that is the wrong guy. That's the wrong guy because that dinner time with your family matters and it's important. And I know that it matters and it was important because it was part of your routine before you met him. And hey, girl, sorry, I've been talking this whole time assuming you're an alpha female, right? There's an alpha inside of you that cares about your family and cares about your happiness and cares about who you become as a person independent of a man. Am I wrong? Are you actually the sim? I was just at dinner because I didn't have a guy who wanted to hang out with me. But now I do. Bye. Fuck you. Fuck you guys. Bye. Oh, is that actually who you are? You might want to click out of this. I don't think that this video is for you. Now, we've been that person in the past. That doesn't mean that's who you are. Maybe it was, but maybe you're like, no, I actually don't want to be that person anymore. Okay. The way you avoid that is those systems. Those systems. Me having systems in my life has made all the difference. No, it's 11 p.m. I'm not coming to meet you out for a drink. I got to be up at 6 for a workout. You can book me for a proper date 4 days from now when it's the weekend. My system is in place. A quality guy will also have systems in place and he will appreciate your systems. He will not have systems in place to the point where he's like, well, you have to be part of mine or go fuck yourself. That's also not a man you want to date. And listen, you don't want to take that attitude either. Yeah, I have my systems in place, but I don't expect a man to completely shift around my schedule. We're going to find something that works for both of us. I'm going to look at the areas in my life where it's like, okay, I'm not going to throw tennis out and not play tennis anymore. I'm just going to figure out how this can adjust to benefit everybody's schedule. But tennis is staying, right? My work is staying. My closet is staying organized. And it just requires malleability on both parts. So that's step number 1. You have your systems in place. You have your schedule. You have the things that matter to you and they're not going anywhere. You add someone in. That doesn't mean you take something away. But what if you're like, well, I kind of like to get really into what my boyfriend's into. It's like fun. Amazing. That's amazing, right? That's the Venn diagram. That's the overlap. He has his hobbies. You have your hobbies and systems. And in the middle, you find the commonality. That's step number 2. That's what I do. I love to be really into something that my boyfriend loves. Again, not at the expense of something that I love, not at the expense of seeing my friends or working out or doing my job. No. But I have like an energetic and a time slush fund in my life that I can add it. Oh my God, he's really into like Arsenal soccer. Let's watch it. Let's buy those weird scarves that they wear. I don't understand those, but let's buy them. And we can go to like the one British pub in town on Sundays at 2 a.m. or whenever the fuck the games are. And let's watch them. That sounds fun. I love to get really into things because listen, you can build these things together. I think it's kind of ideal if you can both get into something from scratch organically and have it be your thing. This is what I tried to do in my marriage. And when it was like, bad, when things were bad, I was like realizing that there was no Venn overlap. There really wasn't. The only Venn overlap was each other. And like, He is not a hobby. I am not a hobby. We are two people and we engage in a hobby, but we aren't each other's hobbies. You know what I mean? There's a difference. And I was like, let's be into a thing. Anything. I will let you pick. I don't care if it's New Zealand rugby. I don't care if it's shooting guns. I don't care if it's gardening. I don't care if it's dinosaur folklore. I pick literally anything. And let's just go balls to the wall and get really into it and buy all the merch and wear the costumes and go to the places where they show it. Or let's just get into it. Anything you want. He didn't pick anything. And it's funny. A phrase I love is no choice is a choice. No action is action. And that to me told me our marriage was over. Because I'm like, we are doomed. We're doomed. We have nothing to really sink our teeth into as a couple. So to avoid falling into this like cringe trap of like, I'm my boyfriend. You have your systems, right? Get into something that he's into, but maybe try to start something together or get into something together that you have an organic 50-50 interest in. But I think it's also very telling and very illuminating. If you have hobbies, is he willing to get into them with you? And I'm not talking about like something girly, like makeup and shopping. That's not, no. If you're really into hockey, is he willing to watch hockey with you? Is he willing to learn some of the stats? If he's like, I don't know, this is fucking boring. Why can't we go camping? I don't know, Jeff. Why can't you watch hockey? I'm supposed to do everything you want to do, but you can't do anything I want to do. That's interesting. You want to see if that's the deal. Because honestly, going back to what he said, here in Montana, that is the deal. Like, it is ludicrous for most men to conceptualize being into their girlfriend's hobby. Unless, of course, her hobby is actually a dude hobby. Oh yeah, no, she's really into pheasant hunting, so I got into it. Okay, that's a dude hobby. I mean, yeah, girls pheasant hunt, but you know what I'm saying. But if it's something that is maybe outside the sphere of pure masculinity, like she's really into this political podcast, she's really into plays, she's really into like this kind of art. I don't see dudes being like, yeah, she got me super into like modern art. I had no idea about it. She got me into it. I never fucking hear that. I never hear that here. In a big city, I might. Here, I don't. I hear girls shape-shifting into guys. I never hear the guys swinging into girls. And I think it's this, I hate to like drop these words, like toxic masculinity, patriarchy. But I do think it's like this, I do think it's both of those things, where it's like men assume that whatever girls are into is gay. Like it's feminine and gay. Like, ew, I'm not going to be into what chicks are into. And I think that goes to the root of like, well, it's gross to be a girl. Being a girl is degrading. Why would I be into girl shit? That's gay. Okay. You know who looks gay? This heterosexual female who you're trying to turn into a dude. She looks like a butch lesbian now, man. You got her all outfitted in hunting camo and she's filthy. I can't tell who's who from the back. Like, I don't. But no, it's pretty gay to go to a museum. Gay, bird watching, fags. Like, okay. All right. Cool. And that gets frustrating. And you see why. We're like, well, if that's the deal, and if it's either I turn into the butch lesbian in order to get like a boyfriend, if I have to do that, or I'm Shallon and I'm alone, butch lesbian, here we come. Give me that camo from Walmart. Let's fucking do it. Are those my Crocs or yours? Who can tell? You see why girls do it. And it's very irritating. And I think it's such a red flag if that is what a man requires of you. That to me says he's incredibly fragile. He's actually super one-dimensional. I don't give a fuck how many hobbies he has. He is one-dimensional. And it also says he doesn't have a lot of respect for us, like women. So I don't know. That's who you want to be with. I'm just like freaking wild. Go for it. All right, Challigators, that is it for today. If we want to know more about Taylor, drop it in the comments. We can keep talking about it. And if you're sick of Taylor, I get it. I'm so sorry. I am too, but this is my job. And you know, we are duty bound to learn something from these people. But yeah, I get it. All right. Like I said, if you're able, please donate to that Whispering Willow Senior Dog Sanctuary. They do such amazing work, truly out of the goodness of their heart, and it would mean the world to me. And so that's our good. Now for our evil, evil week is coming. Get excited. I'll see you later, Shalligators.